Okay, as I was saying, since the product has to be negative, one of the factors must be positive and the other must be negative. For example, if one of the factors is 6, the other could be -3, and that would give me -18. Or I could have -6 times +3 and get -18. But I couldn't do -6 times -3 because a negative times a negative would give me a +18, and that's not what we're looking for. Now, there's other pairs that would work, like 1 times -18 or -2 times 9. And honestly, they didn't even say that these need to be integers, so I could do -1/2 times 36. The list can go on. But instead of going on, let's turn to the last page of this lesson. Probably the most difficult page because we're going to be evaluating. Now, when it says evaluate each expression, you're going to see expressions here with these variables. And up here it says which the value of each variable is. You're going to plug in the number when you see the letter. So when this says -b, I'm going to rewrite this as negative parentheses. Then I'm going to go up here, find out what b is. B is -4. This one's negative b. So it's going to be -4. One of these negatives came from up here, and one of these negatives came from over here. Now, since there's two negatives, we know that these double signs simplify into a +4, or just 4. A squared, I'm going to write as parentheses squared. A is -6. So I'm going to plug in -6. I'm not going to do -6 times 2. Instead, I'm going to write this out. This is -6 times -6. And a negative times a negative is a positive. So I'm going to get +36. This says 2a, which I'm going to write as 2 parentheses. A is -6. So this is 2 times -6, which is a positive times a negative. So I'm going to get -12. ABC, I'm going to write as parentheses, parentheses, parentheses. My dogs are barking because I put them outside. All right, A is -6, B is -4, and C is 3. And I'm going to multiply these two at a time, starting with 6 times -4. That's a negative times a negative, which is a positive. So this is +24 times a +3, which is going to be a +72. -3a squared, I'm going to write as -3 parentheses squared. A is -6, so I'm going to write a -6 inside of the parentheses. And make sure you follow order of operations, meaning don't multiply these until you've done exponents first. This says -6 squared. Now, I just did -6 squared up here and found out it was -6 times -6, which is a +36. So I'm going to write, this is really -3 times 36. All right, 36 times 3, I'm going to do this to the side, is 108. So my answer must be -108. Then -2c is going to be -2 times parentheses. C is 3, so this is a negative times a positive, which is a -6. Okay, evaluate each expression if D equals -9, F equals 36, and G equals -6. So when this says F divided by -D, I'm going to do parentheses divided by negative parentheses. F is 36, and then negative. D is -9. So there's already a negative here, and D is going to bring in another negative. So now there's going to be two negatives. I have to simplify these double signs, and it's going to become a positive. So this is really 36 divided by +9, which is +4. Okay, F divided by 12 plus G is parentheses divided by 12 plus parentheses. F is 36. 12 plus G. G is -6. Now, technically, in the denominator, these numbers are grouped together, so I want to simplify my denominator before I divide. So 12 plus -6, these are double signs. That would be a negative. So this is really 12 minus 6, which I know is 6. So I can rewrite this as 36 divided by 6, which is 6. I just said 6 a bunch of times. Okay, G squared divided by F is parentheses squared divided by parentheses. G is -6. F is 36. Again, a -6 squared. This is the third time it's shown up. -6 squared, I know from up here, is positive 36. So this is really positive 36 divided by positive 36, which is positive 1. And last problem. Lily has a $100 gift card to her favorite pastry shop. She spends $4 a day at the shop for the next 12 days. How much money does she have left on her card? Now, there's many ways to set this up. I'm going to set it up like we're starting with $100. And since she's spending $4, we're going to take away $4 each day for 12 days. So I'm going to take away $4 12 times, which means you're taking away 4 times 12, which is $48. Which would mean that on our gift card, there's $52 left. I hope this was helpful. Please see me if you have any questions.